Hey guys, it's coreross and welcome to 6 News. So today we're going to go in depth on all the current information we have for Operation Ember Rise's 2 new operators from Peru and Mexico. So we have a lot of stuff, a lot of teasers, and I thought we'd go over it one last time before the reveal on Sunday and try and figure out as much as we can. But before we get there, this video is actually going to be brought to you by Acer Predator. Now these guys are probably showing up in a lot of your Rainbow Six videos out there and social media because they're the brand new sponsors of Rainbow Six Esports, the Pro League and the Majors. So these guys are now actually going to be giving away stuff on their Twitter. So I'll have a link to that in the description below. You can go check out, try and win some of the prizes they're giving away. And I'll also have a link to the Acer Predator website, which actually shows off a lot of the hardware they're going to be using at the esports event, because that's what they're using right now to play those finals. They're using Acer Predator monitors and Acer Predator PCs to absolutely kick ass out there. Okay, let's break down the Gadget trailer. So there's a lot I missed in the very first watching of this. So let's just go through it bit by bit from beginning to end. So we actually get this really nice POV shot of the grappling hook. Now this is probably how it's going to look in game when we're actually using it as the operator. You can see that obviously we've got a grappling hook on the end. We've got a very worn out handle. It looks like it's been well used. Has some sort of gas canister for obviously the propulsion and a rope. I do wonder how often you'll be able to use this thing. Is it a one-time use or multiple times? Very curious about that. And then something I really miss, which is a really nice detail, is when the actual grappling hook goes firing out, it's a single projectile, but as it approaches the window, it actually splits up into 4 separate pieces, and obviously this would probably help the grapple to actually send the player through the center of the window rather than obviously hit the side of it. So I didn't realize that, and it splits up into the 4 corners, which is really cool, and yeah, totally missed that the first time round. Now this makes me wonder, can you use this on doors? Because we already know that it can go through barricaded windows, so it's actually going to launch the player through the barricaded window. Can you also do that on barricaded doors as well? And yeah, I really cannot wait to use this on like a 2nd or 3rd floor window. It's going to be crazy and so much fun. I also wonder if closed windows as well, and can you actually launch yourself out of a window? So if you get in a sticky situation, can you like launch yourself out, and then maybe you'd be automatically put onto your rappel rope once you're outside, so you can kind of move around? Because that'd be kind of cool to like barge in, you know, shoot up the place, jump out a window, and then come back in another window. It could be quite interesting. It does make me think that this operator maybe should be a 2-speed rather than a 3-speed, because she's going to be so mobile that I'm kind of worried that she might be too mobile. But we'll see how it goes. Now another thing I missed the first time round was I actually thought the grapple got left behind because of those pair of mechanical arms. I thought the grapple was actually still there, and it was just the dummy was getting pulled by the rope. But actually you can see the grapple gun is just ahead of the dummy, and I love the fact that obviously the grapple gun is pulling itself along in, you know, towards the window, but the dummy isn't obviously holding on to the grapple gun. It's attached by some sort of cable or rope or something, and it's being dragged behind it. So you get this hilarity of this dummy being dragged by this gun, and which is heading for the window. And I find it like I thought it was hilarious to begin with, and now the fact that I've seen this, I didn't realize there was like an extra layer to it. It's definitely got a bit of an Aperture Science and even a bit of a Pixar feel to the whole thing. Really nice. Now another thing I want to go over is the velocity this player is actually going to go through the window at, because it looks pretty significant. Enough so that you're not going to be landing where you would normally land if you were to quick rappel into a window. That's my feeling anyway. I think you're going to go a bit further than that. But what I'm curious about is a lot of people have been saying, oh, this will be great for frost. Like you can go and slap down a bunch of frost mats around potential windows that this new girl might fly through. And I'm kind of like, wait, what would a normal frost mat position actually work? Because looking at this demonstration, it looks like you go into the room further than you normally would with a quick rappel. So I'm thinking there's a really good chance that you might have to specifically place frost mats further back from the window to catch this girl, which would then make them ineffective against normal operators. The other thing is, this reminds me of an old myth I did on Mythbusters, where if you actually rappelled into a window and you kept pressing forward and the frost mat was too close to the actual wall, you could walk and continue walking and not get caught by the frost mat because you kind of had that extra velocity. So I'm wondering if this is going to happen the same here, where she can actually go over frost mats. And of course, you could drone it out. You could be like, right, there's a frost mat there, but it's too close to the window, so you can actually go in and you can give the go-ahead to your operator, and she comes smashing in that window right over a frost mat. Pretty epic if it works. Now, of course, presumably Kapkan traps are going to work quite well, but obviously that's only wounding the operator by a little bit and not actually killing them or incapacitating them in any way. However, one underestimated operator could be a counter to this new one, and that would be Castle. Now, there is one big problem with that. If you actually nomad someone, and I did this in the Mythbuster episode, if you nomad someone into a castle, the person just flies right through the castle and destroys the castle barricade, and that's probably what's going to happen here. But if they set it up right, this would actually make Castle a little bit more relevant. He'd actually be able to protect a certain objective room from getting destroyed with a castle barricade. Now, it isn't perfect because Ash could be there and blow the castle up for the new operator, but I guess it might help. It might at least slow down this new operator who might be extremely quick. Now, moving on to the Defender's gadget in this trailer. This is definitely interesting to me. Now, obviously, I don't find it as exciting as the grapple, but I feel like this one's got a lot of potential, depending on how it's implemented. So first up, it's called the Vulcan Shield, right? But obviously it's an explosive canister, which makes me think because it's called something shield, it must include a shield. So I feel like this deployable shield that he has must be unique to him. Of course, we see that it has magnets on it for attaching the explosive device. So I feel like this is going to be a specific shield for him, and that you won't be able to actually attach this to other deployable shields. Now, at first I was like, that's disappointing. I would have loved it to actually be a unique looking shield, but then I thought, wait, if it's a unique looking shield, I'm going to know as an attacker that that's the explosive one. I don't want to go near it. So it looking like a normal shield might make it look like it's, completely safe, but it might of course have an explosive canister on the back, which will not be easily seen even through the slits in this shield. Now, the other thing is, because the shield actually has the magnets on it, I assume that means the canister doesn't have any attachment options on it. Because I'm assuming, because it's got that metal kind of exterior, it obviously attaches to the magnets on the shield. But obviously I can't just go around and actually take that canister and slap it on a reinforced wall because it doesn't have any magnets on it. That's my assumption anyway. What I'm thinking is that it probably can be placed down. You can see that the explosive canister has a metal shield around the front of it, obviously to make it bulletproof. But why would you need that if it only attaches to a bulletproof shield? My thinking is you can place this on the ground. It will not be able to be shot by attackers, but obviously a defender on the other side will be able to take a pot shot at it and take it out. And I would expect it's going to put down a fire effect for a long amount of time, making it very powerful for holding back late minute pushes. I also noticed in the technical view, at the backside of the device, there is something protruding from that metal shield, which appears to be the same size as the object on the front. Now, it's got a warning label on it, but I can't make it out. Obviously, the shield has a warning label for the magnets. This has a warning label for something else, probably explosive or flammable, something like that. But I can't quite make out exactly which warning label it is. So I wonder what that is, because you've obviously got this fuel canister, so that would obviously bring the explosion and the fire. But what is this extra additional kind of thing bolted on that looks pretty substantial, and it looks like it would do something specific? People have also asked, is there some sort of proximity sensor? So if an enemy vaults over the shield, does this thing automatically explode? Which would be very powerful. That would be a really nice feature for it to have, but it might be a little bit too powerful. Of course, though, you could combine Kapkan. So if someone vaults over, sets up a Kapkan trap, this whole thing would explode, and that might be a really good combo of operators there. but I'm wondering what that kind of lump is, if it's nothing at all, if it's just there to make it look cooler. My other thoughts is it could be maybe for remote detonation. So if our new guy is actually able to remotely detonate these things, so he doesn't, he could be hiding behind a mirror window, looking at the enemy, and he just remotely detonates it. And that would also be very powerful. Because this is the thing, this guy, to me, has the most potential. He could be rubbish. It could be a really simple gadget where you just simply shoot it, and it creates some fire, and that's it. Which means you're going to be, potentially putting yourself at risk just shooting the damn thing. But it also could have proximity detonation, it could have remote detonation. Any of that stuff getting added in would make this guy really powerful, and I think would be a lot of fun to use. Now moving on to something else, and this is a big thing potentially, because it's an Easter egg hidden in here in plain sight, but we don't have an idea what the heck it actually means. And it's Mira saying, "Jordan, if you're watching this, you owe me a drink." Now Jordan is Thermite, so why is she saying that Thermite's going to owe her a drink right after we just get this demonstration for an explosive shield? Like, did Jordan have some sort of part in creating it? Or is this something else? Like, what could possibly be going on here that means that Jordan's going to be happy with this? This is really weird and really interesting, and I'm curious because it must obviously mean something. My first thought was actually maybe this explosive could actually go through a reinforced wall, so a defender could potentially put it up against a reinforced wall, shoot it, and put a hole in the wall, which would be a first for defenders being able to make holes in reinforced walls, apart from, of course, Mira. But of course that doesn't make much sense. It would be kind of interesting to maybe put them rotation holes through reinforced walls, but it does seem a bit OP. So I'm wondering what the tie-in is with Thermite. There must be something, there must be a reason. It also could mean there's some sort of buff coming to Thermite with the new season. Something to do with his charges, maybe being a little bit affected by this. Maybe he'll get something else that ties into the defenders. But yeah, I don't know. It's really odd. It's an odd thing for Mira to say. It's obviously hinting at something, but I've got no idea what. So let me know your theories in the comments below on that. Now I'm going to end our breakdown of this Gadget trailer with just this tiny little detail, and it's the 6 logo at the bottom at the end, and the color of it is dark green. So that means our operator colors for this season's icons will be green, which is really cool. So that confirms the color of our new operator icons, which as far as I know hasn't been revealed yet. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you next time.